Good morning. Hi, Anna. Good morning, Abby. Hi, Misty. Hi, Sar. Good morning, Lori and Natalie. And somebody who's impersonating Saint Finnegan, please stop doing that. It's really shitty. Good morning. Good morning. Ooh. Hi, Rachel. How are you? How is everybody doing this morning? Hi, Cindy. Cindy, I'm the worst. I forgot to wish you a happy birthday, and I'm so sorry. Very sorry. Was your birthday on like the 20th? Ugh, I love you. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Sarah. Good morning, Nicole. Hi, Angie. Hi, Michelle. All right. Well, I'm very sorry that I missed it. I hope it was a good one. Good morning, Jen. Hi, Kristen. All right. Here we are again, another Monday. We are full moon Virgo energy now. It's the 6th today, so I think the peak of the full moon is supposed to be on the 7th, I think. But here we are. How are we doing? I'm so tired. I'm having the craziest dreams. I'm not mad about them, but they're making me tired for living human life in the morning. I was like flying last night and existing in between dimensions. So that was fun. But again, a little tired for the human part of me. Anybody else having wild dreams during this Pisces season? Good morning, Christine. I guess it says the dreams would win me an Oscar screenplay. I feel that way. I feel that way. I feel like my life right now would like win a Rotten Tomatoes award for like worst original screenplay. How's everybody feeling? Let's do energy check first. So this is not a body check. This is just your energy. 1 through 10, how's your energy feeling right now? Good morning, Melissa. Okay. Hi, Janelle. So we've got 7 energies, a bad 2 energy. Oh, 6.5, 7, 5, 6. Okay. 8. You're right. Got a 7. Oh man, Anna. Got another 7, got a 5 flowing. Valerie's 5, 7. We got a lot of 7s and 5s. All right. Natalie's a 9. Go girl. 6.5. Yes, Sarah. The dreams are super vibrant and active, making me super tired the next day. That's how I'm feeling as well. Just like I've been obviously asleep for quite some time, and it's exhausting to wake up. We got Sarah to 4. So, question for those of you who are for those of you who are having a low and like not the sparkliest energy today. What's affecting you most deeply right now? Is it collective insanity, or is it stuff that's more internal or like in your small circle that's affecting you? Like, is it more collective or is it more close to you? Although at this point the difference is not as great as it should be. But do you know what I'm asking? Good morning, Andrew. Okay, we've got 2 internals. We've got a both. We've got a both internal. We've got a collective. We've got a grief, big change coming, family dynamic, state of the earth, I think, right? Both. Okay. Both. Okay. So I want to share with you something that happened last night in workshop. So, and if you weren't in workshop, it's already up. I uploaded it last night, so you can. Actually, I can't tell you about this today because some people haven't seen the recording of the workshop, and I don't want to spoil it for them. So we'll talk about this on Friday. So if you didn't see workshop yet, go watch it, and then we'll talk about this more collective on Friday. Sorry, sorry about that. Um, anyway, collective is like we've been talking about, right? It's becoming heightened more and more and more and more, and it makes you wonder, right? Like how much more could happen? Like just when you think it couldn't get weirder and more dystopian, a former president releases a song on Spotify with a choir made up of people who were arrested for an insurrection against our current government. Like you can't make this shit up. Like literally, it's a mashup of all the dystopian novels, and that's hard, right? And I'm with you where it's like, what are we doing? Because I feel like a large collective of us who believe this is like literally insane are sitting back and like watching it unfold on TikTok, like, uh, it's like, what are we mobilizing? Like, what's happening? Like, what are we going to do? And when I ask myself that question, I still keep getting the same answer. And it's a frustrating answer because it's like the answer that I get. And I do share this with you, obviously, but this is what I'm receiving. So receive for yourself, of course. But it's that the work is internal right now as the external is collapsing. And we have so much healing to do. It's the kind of healing that allows you to speak when you don't feel comfortable speaking, right? Because we've been so trained to be afraid to speak our truth, right? That healing has to happen. And we have to focus on that. So that's the answer I keep getting. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, I hear you, but like, what the fuck, right? Like, it's very hard to hold both of these things. And I don't think there is an answer, honestly. I think it's more we have to talk about it and kind of stay tapped in because when there is that feeling of like we need to do something, I think we need to be ready for that. You know what I mean? Like I'm not getting it yet, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming because this shit's like I said, what? It's like so absurd, but it's like been absurd for so long that it's like numbed us a little bit and it's not good. But I know that it's also this energy, especially last week. I'm hoping this week is not the same, but last week was incredibly violent. Did you notice last week that people just were popping off, even children popping off in very violent ways? Like just no filter, like no ability to modulate their emotions and just like immediately resorting to an altercation of like either yelling or hitting or whatever. I even saw some children getting into it. Like we went to a basketball game and one of my friend's kids was punched in the face. I mean, these are like fifth graders. I was punched in the face because he was making too many baskets, and some random kid there was angry about it and just like wailed on him and right in the face. And I'm like, okay, like this is not normal behavior. Like we're like, wow. And then it also feels like at least when we were talking in workshop last night that like we're not feeling that way. Like I'm not feeling agitated like that. I don't want to fight with anybody. I don't at all want to do that. And I don't have that vibe inside of me. And yet so many people around me are in that space. And it's hard because it's like when everybody wants to fight and you're like, I don't really want to. I don't want to have any disagreements at all. Like I don't even want to talk to anybody. Like it's very interesting, right? Are you feeling that too? Where it's like you don't really want to do that, but like a lot of people around you are very edgy, very um, flammable, so to speak. Mm. Angie says, someone spit in my daughter's water 2 weeks ago, and I was just dumbfounded. Oh my God. Like, what is happening? Right. Um, so, and Carrie says, I feel the need to express rage, but not at people. Yeah. So, hopefully this week, I mean, the energy is obviously shifting this week, but we're moving into a little bit of a Virgo moment, right? And Virgo is the energy of organizing chaos, which is great. We do need some of that. Allow this to help you as much as you can this week. I would say turn inward as much as you can. I put a few TikToks out there saying to be really careful with your social media consumption, and I truly mean that. It is so much information out there, and if you sit under that waterfall, you're going to become inundated and feel just awful. You can take a break from intaking, like all of this shit show will wait for you. It will still be there. You take a couple days to like, you know, um, just be really mindful of that. Okay. But this full moon in Virgo is an organizer of chaos for you. So utilize that for yourself, right? A lot of us are moving. A lot of us are, um, a lot of us are moving into really new places by the end of the month. I know that's kind of wild that so many of us are doing it, but we're riding that wave, right? Stepping into a new way of doing life. Let this week with this Virgo energy help you start to organize that for yourself, organize that energy. Okay. Let's get to what we're here for, which is the cards. Um, if you're new here, welcome. These are sensory card pulls. I'm going to give you 3 things. Once again, I'm going to give you objects and I'm going to hold them up for you to look at. So pick whichever thing I hold up feels most aligned with you this morning, and that will be the one that corresponds to your card pull. Are you ready? Okay. So here's your first one. Wings. Okay. The first one is wings. The second one is our fit Ganesh yet again. Okay. And the third one is this beautiful cluster of green quartz. So, what are you feeling this morning? The wings, Ganesh, or the crystal? I'll show you one more time. Wings, Ganesh, crystal. Drop your selection in the comments, and I'm going to start shuffling. A lot of people are feeling those wings. I have a story about these wings. So I found these wings at a store called Tuesday Morning, I think. And it's probably about 8 years ago. So it's a long time ago. And I've had these wings all that time through several different homes. And they actually were broken. Somebody dropped them and they completely broke. And I was able to glue them back together in such a way that even I cannot truly see all of the cracks. Like I can see one here, just a little one, but I can't see the other ones, like, And so I just felt like, oh, you can completely break apart and yet be put back together. No one knows. It's totally okay. So those are my wings. So you're choosing from wings, Ganesh again, and the beautiful green crystal. I love this crystal. It's like frosty on the outside, like it's got sugar on it. See? It's like sugar crystal. I'm sorry, YouTube. My YouTube camera situation is not great. So those are your choices. And of course, don't forget Ganesh. Ganesh has been here for about a week and a half and like is like adorable, right? All right. So you're choosing from wings, Ganesh, and the green crystal, right? And of course, you can choose more than one, although all of you seem to know that. Okay, let's do it. All right, this is going to be your wings. Tell me when you're ready. Someone tickling me. Good morning, Arlene. All right. So I've got your wings here. Tell me when you're ready. All right, let's do this. So, thank you, Andrew. We've got the fire fairy. We've got the risk. And we've got letting go. Oh my goodness. So what's our story this morning? What could it be? We've got the fire fairy, risk, and letting go. This is your wing message, okay? So let's start here with the fun stuff. So risk and letting go. Now, I know with confidence that you have gotten this message before more than once. But it's okay because sometimes we need to hear things 1,223 times for it to be the right time. Okay. And if that's yours, if that's your number, let it be your perfect number. If you need a couple more, I'm sure it'll come up again. You know what I'm saying? But here it is for you, letting go and the risk card. It's letting go that makes room for what you're asking for. If you keep asking for things and you let nothing go, you are creating a massive backup, all right? Because there are a lot of things that just can't exist with each other, okay? Especially right now. Some things cannot exist with each other. And one of those things that cannot exist with what you are clearly asking for is your old way of thinking. Okay? That feels like what you're holding on to, an old way of thinking, of existing, of interacting with the world. It's an old mindset, it's an old program. It's scary to let it go because you don't have proof of what's there without it. Even though, like, you know that obviously something's there without it, there's just that part of you that's like, I don't know, man. Can we just keep this? Right? No, not if what you want is what you keep asking for. So if this is like, the millionth time you're getting this message, let it be the millionth time and see how it hits today. Does it feel risky? Yes, it does. What's on the other side of this? Like what's pushing you? Well, you've kind of got a fire under your butt right now. It's not comfortable to not let go anymore. And that's maybe making some of you dig your heels in even harder, to be honest, because when you feel that pressure, you're like, no, 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 then I don't like the pressure, so I'm just gonna stay where I am. Right? So know yourself. If that's you, know yourself. That's okay. Just know how you work with things, right? But this fire isn't meant to burn you. It's meant for you to use it to create new things, right? You've got an influx of like new creative energy ready to be tapped into. And if you don't use it, it's just going to burn you. It's just going to make things more difficult, right? Or it'll just flame on by and you'll be like, wait, what? So this is a moment for you. We're in full moon energy, which is associated with the action of releasing, right? Let go. Let go of your thoughts of who you think you are and who you were and all of those identities that just they can't exist with the aligned version of yourself that wants to be here right now, that wants to start creating and popping off, right? So, fly away on the wings. That's your wing message for this morning. All right. We're shuffling for Ganesh. Did anybody choose Ganesh this morning? I don't know if I remember seeing that. Ricky, hi Ricky. Ricky chose wings. A lot of people chose wings. So do a lot or did that hit for you guys? Because it was a lot. It was a lot of people being asked to let go. Are you feeling that wing, people? So if you just got here, you've got two more choices. You've got Ganesh. You could choose from Ganesh, or you can choose from this green crystal. Okay. And as always, if you missed the beginning, you can always catch the replay on my YouTube or on Instagram on my IGTV. They're always there. All right, here comes Ganesh. All right, so maybe I just didn't see. I just didn't see. No worries. All right. Your Ganesh is ready. Are you ready for Ganesh? Good day, Egypt. TikTok is ready. Instagram and YouTube, are you ready? All right. So this is going to be your Ganesh message, okay? We have the Raven. We have the Novice. And we have the Queen, okay? Ooh, very interesting. Let's see here. So it's the Raven, the Novice, and the Queen. Let's talk about the Queen and the Novice first. Now, the Novice does correspond with the Fool energy from Tarot, which is, the zero sum card, starting it up off on starting off on a new adventure, right? Something totally new. Now, we're actually connecting this energy with the Queen energy, all right? I am going to make sure I preface this by explaining to you that this has nothing to do with gender. When I use feminine energy, it is not gendered. It is a feminine energy, which is the energy of inward receiving, nurturing, sexuality, sensuality, that kind of thing. Okay. There is a healing of feminine energy happening right now for you. And it's like it's an unstable energy right now because it's new, right? It's like you've been trying to understand this energy in a different way for a minute now. There has been times when you shied away from it, when you've been scared of it, when you felt like it wasn't for you, when you've said this is a liability, whatever, so on and so forth. But now you're starting to like really get it with what this feminine energy is. And you're ready to start working with it, right? And it's almost like it's like that kundalini energy that's been released finally and is flowing in different patterns throughout your center and is tapping into this divine feminine energy, which doesn't jump outside of itself. It is not aggressive and forward. It is inward and it allows things to be magnetized to it, right? Allow energies to be magnetized to you. You don't go chase things. You don't jump after things. You don't grab things. If it's for you, it will automatically wish to exist in your orbit, and it will be effortless because that's what you're doing. You're holding this court now with this new understanding of your own divine feminine energy in balance with your own unique blend of masculine energy. But we're focusing on the feminine energy for this particular moment, right? So you're holding this. It feels like orbit. Like I just kind of see it like, almost like Saturn with its rings, right? Which is interesting because Saturn is going into Pisces now for the next 2.5 years, and this is going to be a big shift for a lot of us. Um, but this is a new way of being for you, and it again it attracts to it because it's so confident of who it is and what it has to offer, that it doesn't have to go out and sell itself. It doesn't have to market itself. It just exists, and what is meant to be in its orbit will automatically vroom. And when it doesn't need to be there anymore, when an energy no longer is aligning, just drops out, right? Again, it's very composed and sensual at the same time. It's a really nice energy that I'm feeling from this. A reminder though that it's new for you. So there's going to be warbly, wobbly, weird moments, awkward times, right? That doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean you're not doing it right. It just means you're new at it. And I know for some of you, that is not a comfortable feeling because you're used to being very proficient at anything you do. And it's okay, but like, all right, right? Like it can take you a minute to get used to a brand new way. That's all right. Now, you've got that happening. And then you've also got the raven. When the raven comes through, it's such a magical sweep. And the raven energy is here to affirm and also reward you for holding court with your divine feminine energy. You are going to be swept up in so many magical moments now. Like it's almost going to be weird sometimes, right? Like you're just like, wait, could that really be a synchronicity? Did I just say that and it appeared? Like, yup, because that's the vibe you're in. When you allow things to be attracted to you instead of going running after them and chasing them and grabbing them, everything changes. Everything changes. And you are about to be caught up in like such a swell of magic that you're just gonna be like, whoa, amazing. Love it for you. That is your Ganesh message for this morning. Good morning, Chad. Good morning, Dorothy and Ellie. Oh no, sorry, I almost knocked y'all over. Just waving. All right. Now. Good morning, Nara. Woo. I'm falling all over the place around here. All right. Let's just kind of keep it like stay still. The last one is going to be this green crystal. So if you're just popping on, you feeling this one? Okay. Okay. Janelle's telling me to shuffle good. I'll shuffle good as I can. Let's see here. All right, which one? You're feeling the Ganesh one or you're feeling okay, yeah. It says the full moon is going to peak at 12:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I have that on my Google Calendar. I have a lot to keep track of for this next stretch of my life, and I'm going to have to really figure it out. I will. No, I can't shuffle fancy like casinos either. Like I can do like these are big, but I can do like, like that kind of thing. But my oracle decks don't really love it when I do that. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys. All right. I can do it with like playing cards. Never met a casino I didn't like though. I do love playing blackjack and poker. Can you imagine how fabulous my poker face is? I'll tell you my trick. I have such a bad poker face that I use that to my advantage and confuse everybody at the table, and it works every time. All right. So, are you ready for the crystal one? I know these cards are like, Sarah, don't do that. Don't do it again. All right. So, this is going to be your green crystal. Dragon, swan, cow. It's everybody's favorite. Let's get into it. All right. So, first, we're going to talk about the cow because that's going to be the one that you have the most attitude about. Okay. So, we're going to talk about it first. So, let me start by asking you a question. Are you somebody who gives a lot to other people and who has, at least in the past, judged your own value and worth based on how helpful, useful, or needed you are by other people or to other people? Is that you? Do you feel like you constantly have to be doing something for somebody in order to validate your existence on this earth? Or have you been that person? Oh, wait. Okay. So the cow is here to explain to you about a few things. It is wonderful to do for other people and to be helpful and all of those things, right? But if you are only doing that in order to be validated for your own existence, it's not really as giving and selfless and generous as you think it is, because you're actually doing for other people because you want to feel good, because you want to feel important, because you want to feel like you matter in this world, right? Not necessarily just because you want to help, but you need to help, because if you're not helping, you're going to lose your mind, right? You're going to spin out. No, right? Like, we need to pause for a second. There are reasons why you feel this way. This is a program. There is no reason at all to be upset with yourself about this program, to be unkind with yourself, to be like, oh, like I hate that I am like that. Like, mm-mm. These things do not define who you are in this present moment. Once you recognize them and say, yeah, I did act like that, or I do have a tendency to do that. That's all you need to do. And then you are the one who decides, I'd like to try something different today. Okay? You don't have to guilt or shame yourself about it. The cow is here to remind you, for those of you who have really, put in a lot of work to move out of that space, especially, to just remind you that it is okay to receive from others. It can be really tricky to allow others to give because in the back of your mind, not only is it hard to receive, but in the back of your mind, you remember being that person who gives from that place of needing the validation. And you too don't want to be the receiver of that particular energy. Am I explaining that well? Do you understand what I mean? Like it's this weird like thing where it's like I know what that energy is and I don't want to chance receiving it because I don't want it either. You know what I mean? And this particular cow message is coming through to say, hey, you can trust yourself. You can trust your judgment. Read the energy, guys. Read the energy. You can trust yourself. You have absolutely the ability to do that. Okay? Allow yourself to receive from those who you are starting to understand and trust. Okay? It is okay to do that. Um, and it's also a circuit, right? Giving and receiving have to go hand in hand. There are there are people in your life when you are around them, you feel a stasis. Like you feel this stability and calm, regardless of like what's going on. Like there's, life is up and down and all stuff happens. But these people, you feel a stability when you're around them, right? It feels like, okay, like they're not taking from me all the time. They're not taking from me all the time. More of that, less of the other. Okay. If right now, if people are just pulling from your bucket constantly and you just don't have it and they're not putting anything back in, this that's not a good exchange. It's not going to work. It's not sustainable anymore. It's especially now. It used to be more sustainable before, honestly, because when you don't think very highly of yourself, it is much easier to be in a relationship like that. In fact, it's preferred, right? But the minute you start to think more highly of yourself, that is glaringly obvious it's not going to work anymore. And it's like, uh-oh, right? So many people are waking up to this. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities to have relationships with people who are in a similar space as you, who are aligned in that. Okay. Now, you've also got the swan and the dragon. Again, the swan typically talks about transformation, but it's not really transformation so much as it is a realization of who you've always been, right? It's like the swan is the story of that ugly duckling who has been around, a bunch of yellow, like little baby ducks and looks very different, is gray with a long neck and is just very awkward and feels wrong all the time and is ridiculed and made fun of because he's a swan, not a duck. And that's you. And there's a lot of swans now, and we can find each other. And it feels much better, right? So it's not like you're transforming into something else. It's just allowing yourself to be who you've always been. For some of us, it's taking off our duck suit. You know what I mean? Like taking the duck suit off because you realize, look, I don't need to be a duck anymore. I can just be who I am, and that's really what it is. There's no such thing as weird anymore, right? We've used that word to death. It's just like this is me. This is who I am on any given day, and I'll find more people who vibe with that I don't have to wear a mask to interact with, and that's all. Then you've got the dragon energy coming in. And so dragon energy is happening really profoundly right now in the collective because dragons clear the energy grids from above. Okay. So if you think about they really work with earth energy. I know they fly, but a dragon is like earth and fire and air all together, right? And they're doing a lot of work to clear a lot of the energetic debris that is being kicked up from the collective unrest. All right. And with that, you are also, putting out your own stuff out there. And those dragons are here to move that energy so it doesn't stagnate. So the dragon energy isn't necessarily like an internal thing at this point, but it is there to help clear all of the old stuff that you're sloughing off. Okay. So again, to recap for the green crystal, you can allow yourself to receive now. You can trust your judgment on who is a person you want to be around versus who is a person who's not working right now. Okay. You are not transforming, you're removing your duck suit, and dragon energy is here to clear. And you can always call upon dragon energy. I know at least some of you have intimate connections with dragon energy. Andrew is asking, what if being yourself is a bad person? What do you mean by that exactly? Because I feel like there's so many layers to that. Like, are you saying that you are inherently a bad person? So taking off your duck suit will reveal a bad person and what is bad, because again, that's very subjective. That's a very man-made creation. Like good and bad is, everybody has a different idea of what that is. So I don't know. I feel like that's a deep question. And if you consider who you are as a person to be bad, that's a different conversation, right? Because if you are inherently a bad person, wearing a mask doesn't change that, right? Because you've always been who you are. So even if you're running around with, you know, a mask that of a good person, let's say, to use that metaphor, you're still who you are underneath it, you know? So I don't know. I would have to have more information about that question, but it is an interesting question. All right, my friend. So that is your coffee magic for this morning. Tomorrow is a full moon in Virgo, organizer of chaos. I will be back here Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope you have a good week. Hang in there. All right. Um, that, my friend, is definitely a deeper conversation. Maybe send me a DM. Love you. Mwah. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thanks for sharing all the things, and I'll see you on Friday.